I made a video about cabbage rolls before, and my friend brought it to my attention that the video was too long and it wasn't easy to follow. So here I am making it again with these very simple and few ingredients. So the first thing first is lean ground pork. If you want to use ground turkey or something else, you can. I like this one. And then the spices are 2 tablespoons of Hungarian paprika. This is from Hungary. It's Chemege, means not spicy, and this really makes the flavor good. Then we have a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of ground pepper, and a teaspoon of onion powder. The garlic powder and the onion powder bring out the flavors of our alliums there. And then we've got 1 egg, 3/4 of a cup of Arborio rice, that's short grain rice, 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise, and a sour cabbage head that we're gonna stuff each leaf with some of the meat and rice mixture, and then pour strained tomatoes so that they can cook in this deep, heavy pot. So let's start assembling it. It's super, super duper easy. I'm going to use a food processor for my small onion. It's this size. I guess I need to cut it. So I'm just going to grab a knife and just throw that in there into the food processor. I'm going to throw my garlic into the food processor. And isn't really chopping down. Just gonna take it out. Thought this little guy could just be put in there, but I guess not. Cut that in half, put it back in. Let's see. So it's a little more diced than I wanted it, but it's okay. As long as it's not wet and mushy. I'll just cut this guy up and put it in. So you put that into the bowl, garlic, onion, simple as that. Just put that in the bowl. Put your 3/4 of a cup of Arborio rice in the bowl. Put the spice mix in the bowl. Put the egg in the bowl. And I personally don't want to touch meat, so I'm going to be using gloves to mix. My hand's wet. Okay. Important part about getting the cabbage leaves separated is you don't want to have too many for your recipe. So, because if they're in the pork station or the raw meat station, they could get contaminated. So you kind of need to put them in a clean spot and maybe do 2 batches of leaves and then use 1 batch at a time so that you don't contaminate. So now I'm putting the meat into the bowl along with 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise. So here I go. Just gonna mix it up. And you can see that the meat mixture is looking kind of red because of the paprika, but you won't really see that when it's in the cabbage roll and it's all cooked. This is all that's going into these cabbage leaves, this mixture right here. The rice will cook during the cooking process on the stovetop in the tomato sauce once these are all wrapped up. Onion made my eyes water. Okay. That's it. Give it a good mix. And that should be good. I'm going to remove the glove. I only dirtied 1 glove. So next we gotta separate the leaves of the sour cabbage head. Sour cabbage is already soft because it's fermented. So this part Just separate the leaves like that. They're soft and pliable, whereas you try to make cabbage rolls with a raw cabbage, they are going to be needing parboiling. So this is so fast, so easy. And it's easy to roll these again because they're soft leaves. And I like to make little small rolls, like about between 15 and 20 I think I'll be making. And like I said, I don't want the cabbage to be contaminated by the meat. So I'm gonna guess that this will be enough leaves. And I'm gonna set my cabbage aside away from the pork mixture and just put it aside for now, for when I need more. So here we go, assembly. I'm gonna put, let me just change hands with this glove here maybe. Oh no, I'll just use my hands. Okay, so we're gonna put basically pork into the middle. Oh, I missed a kind of important step here. We need to chop some cabbage and put it on the bottom of the pot so that it doesn't burn. So I'm gonna do that. Sorry, I forgot that step. So we're just gonna take the bottom part of the cabbage and just cut it like this. Done. Put that in the bottom of the pot so that it doesn't, so that the cabbage rolls are not at the very bottom, potentially burning. So here we go. Put the cabbage rolls on top of the chopped cabbage on the bottom. Keep filling the leaves. They don't have to be perfectly rolled, they just have to shut, because the filling will harden within them during the cooking time. So just gonna place them in there. I would say I'm putting about 2 or 3 tablespoons in each leaf. Right, so that took about 5 minutes for me to just roll up the meat into the cabbage rolls. Good thing about this recipe is it is low calorie, it is high protein, there's no other fats added to this. Now I'm going to put this into the pot. I'm going to pour this in, and I'm going to also fill it with some water so that the cabbage rolls are just covered. So here we go. Just pour the strained tomatoes. No seasoning necessary. Just pour that on. Shake it a little. It's pretty well covered, but I'm just going to rinse this out. So get some water. Yeah, these are pretty covered, so I'm not using a lot of water. Depending on how much space, you might want more water, or you might want more sauce with your cabbage rolls. In that case, add more strained tomatoes and or more water. In this case, I'm gonna do about that much. And then we just put this on the stove top and it cooks. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. It's gonna cook for an hour to an hour and a half. You just check it for doneness. The longer it cooks, the softer the rice and the meat and the cabbage rolls all get together. I just grabbed this knife so I can press them down in a little bit. And it's not going to be an issue if some are sticking out like that because we're going to cover the lid. So I'm turning it on medium high. I'm going to put this big lid on, and when it starts to boil, I'm going to turn it down from medium high down to medium low and just let it be a gentle simmer for an hour to an hour and a half. So I will show you, I'll show you what it looks like when it's all finished. Now it's been an hour and 15 minutes and I took the cabbage rolls off the stove. So here they are. I typically divide this recipe into 8 portions, which equals to 240 calories per serving and about, yeah, it's 15 grams of protein per serving. So this is how I serve it. I just put a little bit of sauce and then I take sour cream, 14%. And that's about it. I just eat it like this. I'm going to cut it open so you can see. So I will actually cut it with scissors because it's the fastest way, especially because it's very hot. So you can see inside the rice, the meat, and when I eat this, I just prefer to cut it like this. And yeah, it's really delicious. Let me see if it turned out as good as last time when I made it. So let me just take a little bit of the meat mixture, a little bit of cabbage. Can't really get any. Let's see. Yeah, this is super good.